What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So this is some breaking news that's being reported, and that is that according to reports, the Golden State Warriors are actively trying to persuade, I guess it would be the Lakers and LeBron slash Clutch Sports to get LeBron to waive his no trade clause and okay a trade from the Lakers to the Golden State Warriors. Now, of course, when you look at LeBron James and when you look at Stephen Waddell Curry, and I guess if you throw in Draymond Green, they are all at the twilight of their NBA careers, okay? LeBron also, of course, in addition to staying with the Lakers, there's also the possibility of him perhaps going to the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. If I had to be a betting man, I think he stays the Los Angeles Lakers because, and I remember Rich Paul said this last year, I think it was, and that is that it wouldn't look good on LeBron's GOAT resume to have been traded to another team. LeBron has always been the guy that's been in control of his destiny. Now, technically, if the narrative is that LeBron requested a trade rather than the Lakers having traded him because they don't see him of value anymore, that's one thing. But still, technically, considering that the direction of the franchise is definitely in Luka Doncic's favor, it could be argued they trade LeBron, then that would be the definitive touch on them moving away from the LeBron era. So there's merit to that argument, right? But anyway, if this did occur, right, and I guess if they did trade LeBron, the Warriors would probably give up Jonathan Kuminga. That's been an issue going on for quite a while now with Jonathan Kuminga. If the Lakers did trade LeBron James to the Golden State Warriors, look, we already know how he moves. You know what I'm saying? He's a deck stacker. Or he wants to be in a situation where he's on a supposed super team, which increases his ability to, through other players, through other talent at this stage of his career, achieve things that he can no longer do by himself. He's not the type of guy that can go out there and lead a good team and elevate them to a point where they can get to a finals or a conference finals. He can't do that anymore. Number one, he's older. Secondly, especially in the Western Conference, the talent level in the NBA is just so much better. Like in the Eastern Conference, when he was dominating, supposedly, even in the second half of the 2000s, the Eastern Conference had gotten so much weaker, especially in comparison to just the 90s, when it was so much more talented in the Eastern Conference. And then when he had the 8 straight finals, the East was even weaker than it was in the 2000s. But the Western Conference is very talented, so he needs a supposed super team. And even with that, even if he did get traded to the Golden State Warriors, now that I think about it, this ain't the same Warriors team. And he ain't the same LeBron James. And you're still going to have some of the same problems. You're going to have a 35-year-old and Draymond Green, a 37 to going on 38-year-old and and Stephen Curry. And you're going to have a 40 going on 41-year-old and LeBron James. And even if you do somehow keep Jimmy Butler, he's showing signs of slowing down. So age, especially on the defensive side of the ball, is going to be a problem. And I don't know if that team will still be enough to win a championship. Also, we got to start looking at Steph Curry more critically, because if LeBron comes to the Golden State Warriors, then that's another team where he's playing with a guy that is arguably, depending upon who's doing the listing, top 20 all time. Although I've kind of pushed KD further down than that. He's playing with a guy that is one of the great players of his generation, once again, in order to try to stack the deck and win a championship. I mean, that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? You could argue that of the 4 championships Steph Curry got, 2 of them came with him being on the super team, right? Now, you could argue that, what about the 73-9 team? But that team was organic. That team wasn't patchwork, as far as you piling on and getting another superstar there. So if you get another superstar in addition to Jimmy Butler, who was supposed to, by himself, at least make y'all contenders, then you're stacking the deck. So you're trying to stack the deck for ring number 5, which would be your third deck stacked ring, versus the 2 that you won, which came in a more normal circumstance. You know what I'm saying? 2015 and 2022. And even in 2015, well, as much as we don't like LeBron James over here, let's be honest, we don't. But even with that, his team wasn't at a disadvantage. It didn't have Kevin Love. And for most of the finals, it didn't have Kyrie Irving. So, it is what it is, man. But if this happens, I'm already seeing LeBron fans salivating at the thought of him going to the Golden State, but it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work out because they're too old. They're too old. More than likely, what's going to happen is you're going to have periods where they play very, very good. They're going to have periods where they win like 7, 8 games in a row. They're going to have some periods where they look decent. And then they're going to have some games every now and then where they look pretty bad. Age is going to catch up with them. But the main problem would be injuries. They're not going to be playing 80-some games. They're not going to be playing probably 70-some games. LeBron may stagger to 70 games. Steph Curry probably going to play like 60-something. Draymond probably maybe 60. Jimmy Butler, he's hit or miss now. He used to be a workhorse, but he's hit or miss. Defensively, we all know how bad they are now. So at the end of the day, I know Draymond would love it. Draymond would love to play with his boo. Draymond would love to play with none other than his boo thing, but I don't see it happening. And if it did happen, I don't think it's going to work. Not at this stage. I know people marveled at what happened in the Olympics a couple of years, what was it, last year? But nah, it ain't gonna work. Get those 2K24 fantasies out of your head. It ain't gonna work. Man, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.